Hi, so in this video we're just going to look at the layout of Blackboard to get you familiar with that. And if we look at the left-hand toolbar, well, before I say that, whenever you log on to the course, you're going to land on the announcements page. I will make sure that all announcements that I put out are also emailed to you. So for example, this looking forward to Monday one that you can see here, you guys should have gotten that on Saturday before the class started. And it's here, it will live here forever. But it was also emailed to you, and you should have gotten that to your college email. And so those any of the announcements, if you're ever looking for them, are always going to live here, and they'll be listed here in most recent first, and you scroll down for the older ones. If you want to go beyond the announcement page, and hopefully you will, then you'll be looking at the left-hand toolbar, and I'm just going to actually toggle here to the student view. So that you can see that the way you'll see it. So you have a link to the textbook. So if we click on that, right, you've got a PDF here where you can find the textbook, and I also gave you other links for accessing it in other ways. The textbook reading is really essential, so make sure you plan time to do that. Make sure that you don't skim on that. You do have reading quizzes, but it'll also be really hard to understand the course material if you haven't read the textbook. So I suggest that you read the textbook and first, and then watch the video lectures that are available that we'll look at together in just a second. The syllabus, I won't click on that again. You do have another video that has where we look at the syllabus together in some detail. But the syllabus is accessible right here. And the paper assignment is also accessible here. There's also copies, links to the paper assignment in each of the drop boxes related to it, and we'll look at that together as well. The course material link is the one that we're going to spend our time on in this video. That everything you need, right, the textbook, the syllabus, the paper assignment are here. Everything else you need for the course, you're going to access through this course material page. And now I'm going to exit my preview so that because most of it while I'm making this video prior to the start of our class, it's all hidden from you. So on the course material page is every folder that relates to a chapter that we're going to be looking at together. And so you've already seen the orientation to our course because you're looking at this video, which you found in there. And so I just want to show you an example of another our first chapter, and all of our chapters will be set up, all of the folders of the chapters will be set up in exactly the same way. So we're going to look for a second. So you can see this Introduction to Psychology and Psychological Research is our first chapter. The span of dates that are also on the syllabus are here. So Wednesday, June 8th until Sunday, June 12th is the span. And then it tells you, right, that which chapters in the textbook you have to read. It tells you there's lecture videos. The quiz is due on Sunday, June 12th. Discussion posts and responses for both forums are also due on Sunday, June 12th. And then you have optional extra credit that's due on June 12th. So we can click on this. And as there will be in every chapter folder, you've got your chapter learning outcomes. And these really, I know that students are often tempted to ignore these outcomes, but really does give you a good sense of what I will be expecting that you'll be able to do by the end of this chapter. And that will translate very nicely to what I'll expect you to be able to do on the exam. So this is, taking a look at those can be useful. And then you've got these lecture videos. These lecture videos are created the same way that the one you're currently watching is created. Hang on one sec. So these videos are made the same way that the one you're watching is made. So you'll see me talking to you. There'll be PowerPoint slides in the background with information. And none of them are more than 12 minutes long, 15 minutes at the max. So they're broken up into smaller videos, so they're kind of bite-sized chunks of topics. There's also a link to the static lecture slides. So if you want to print those out for yourself or download those, something you can look at without having to watch a video, that's a nice additional thing. I would watch the videos. I'm not just reading the PowerPoint slides in the same way that this video is occurring. I'm explaining things to you. The link for the quiz is here, and then the links for the discussions. And I am going to ask you to access the discussions within these chapter folders because that is going to ensure that you don't miss anything. And then there's an optional extra credit assignment in this first chapter. There won't be one in every chapter, but in many of them there will be. And so that's an option. You can choose not to do it. You can choose to do it, whatever works best for you. There's also this link to the practical questions forum, discussion forum that I mentioned in one of the other videos. And that is an opportunity for you to kind of raise your hand and ask a question that isn't private or isn't specific to you, but that is about the course, in the same way that you might ask that by raising your hand in a physical classroom. And so all the chapter folders will be set up in this way. They'll be very predictable in that way. Sorry about that. I got interrupted. So we go back to that course material page, and again, this looks a little different because I haven't updated everything. I'm recording this prior to the start of class. But you'll see that there's folders for every chapter. There's also drop boxes for the article submission, for the paper assignment, and then later for the paper assignment. There's also study guides for each of the exams. The study guide is visible now for all the exams with the date of the starting date of the exam on it. And then the exams will become available on the starting date. So you can see it here on my view, but it won't be visible to you until the start. So you can just kind of get an overview of what it's going to look like as each thing appears. Each element, especially the chapter folders, will only appear on the start date. So when you first log into the course now, you're only obviously going to see the orientation to our course, and then the other the study guides and the drop boxes for the paper stuff. But you won't see, for example, this introduction to psychology and psychological research until Wednesday when it opens. And everything opens at midnight on the date listed, and then is open and available until 11:59 p.m. on the last date listed. And that anytime there's a due date, it'll be for 11:59 p.m. as well. All right, so hopefully that gives you, I'm going to go back to your view, so you can see the left-hand toolbar. Hopefully that gives you an overview of the structure. And again, questions about structure and things like that are great for that practical questions forum. And you can find that even in that orientation folder. And then if there's something specific that is private to you, then an email to me. Okay, so hopefully that sets you up well. Thanks.